I guess actually before we can put the whole car back together, we're probably going to have to work on cleaning up the mess. So I already got the syringe out, and I've put all the fluid that was in it back into the bottle. And we're going to keep this in the garage along with all the other fluids that we keep, obviously, for if it starts gurgling again in the future, we'll have some fluid that we can put in it. Okay, so cleanup inside the car is done. Here's the driver's side, is doing an inspection, noticing nothing is leaking. So working in reverse order, the first thing to go back in are the speakers. I'm just noticing something interesting. If you can notice, this area right here on the speaker, on the back of the speaker, is actually showing a little bit of leaked oil on top of it. This is on the back of the speaker. In this case, it's on the passenger side. But I'm going to go ahead and clean that up real quick before I put this actually into the car. You know, I don't know why I'm doing it like this. I'm going to drop the top. Alright, that is so much easier to work with. Not sure why I wasn't doing this before. Okay, so when you put the car back together, you're going to start by putting the speaker back in and bolting it in. So the speaker goes right here, and just a little lower than that. Just a reminder, there's a bolt here, and a bolt over here. So we're going to go ahead and get the bolts, and we're going to start them up. Start with the top one because it's the one I can see the most, and I have to kind of lift the speakers up just a tiny bit to kind of get the holes to line up. But I'm starting them by hand. And get the second bolt. That one goes right there. And the last bolt goes right over here. And I mean, once one of the bolts is lined up, it seems like the other ones just kind of fall in place. And then you get your Torx 20 screwdriver, and you just snug it up. So there it's snug. No need to be like crazy cranking on it. If it doesn't go in right, you should probably unscrew it and then try to have it go back in. And what you're wanting to try to avoid is cross-threading them, obviously. And they should just go in. And as soon as you get to this point, don't forget to plug in your speakers. 1 and 2. And done. Those just slot in, they snap, and you're good to go. Alright. And here we go again. Alright, I'm getting pretty good at this, apparently. Practice makes perfect. So apparently it goes in like this. So again, I like to start here at the bottom, the door jamb, make sure it's in there nice, in the groove. Make sure it slots in underneath this weather stripping. And once that's in, pop these two rivets in. Or they're not rivets, they're push pins. And then I'll be honest, I kind of lost all my push pins. So I'm using some that I bought at the store. They're not exactly OEM, but I think they'll do the trick. So there's a push pin that goes in here. There's a push pin that goes right here. Right there. And then the push pin right here and right here in. I'll be honest, it just doesn't look like these are going to reach. But we're going to try anyway. And I'm not going to stress if I don't make these in. That one looks like it got in, barely. And right here. Okay. And like I said, if these don't actually make it in there, I'm not going to stress about it. That one's in there really nice and tight, so that's cool. Now that we got the interior trim in place, we can put the door sill back in. So there's a little bit of a clip right here that needs to slot into one of these holes. So it looks like I got one that goes down and one that goes in. So slot those in right there. And that should do it. Door sill is back in place. Alright, next step, we're going to put the seat back in. So I'm just going to put this right here. Alright, so here's the seat back. And based on what I can see, it looks like the trick is really just to make sure that these two hooks right here and perfectly in these slots, and then these hooks here on the bottom, just need to make sure that they actually go in where the screws go. So we're gonna slot these in right here for now, and then I'll change the camera angle and we'll finish up the job. Oh, I guess I should be conscious of the seatbelt. Alright. Okay, those are there. And that's in. And this is in. Make sure that the seatbelt track actually goes on top. And it does. That's in, that's in. And we're good to go. So for this is a 2004 Mustang, and it's got the latch system, just kind of reminding. Because it's a 2004, instead of having 10mm bolts, it's got 18mm bolts. So we just start them up. And then get an 18mm deep socket. And you gotta know that it's an 18mm for a reason. So snug it up nice and tight. And then we turn around and we do the same thing on the driver's side. There's the bolt. And we're just gonna hand tighten it for now. And then Once you get it done pretty good, bring your wrench and tighten it down. Nice and snug. And a little bit more. And there we go. And lastly, we install the back seat bottom. So this one is pretty easy to do. Just make sure you route the seat belt buckles through the holes first. Maybe not do the belt buckle, I guess. And done. Whew. The convertible top ram replacement has been completed. If this was helpful, I'm glad you watched it. If you feel like it, you can subscribe. Alright, I'm gonna go inside and celebrate the completion of this work. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.